Yo, what's up, you guys? Today I want to share with you an inspiring Neville Goddard story that'll seriously help you to believe that you can be and have anything you want in this world, even if reality seems to be against you. You know what I'm saying? So if you're feeling discouraged at the moment and don't know what to do, then yo, this will definitely lift you up. Alright, let's do this. In his lecture called Ends, Ultimate and Temporary, Neville talks about the time when his father gave him $500 to go to a small school in New York City. And according to Neville, the teacher made him the GOAT. And by that, he didn't mean the greatest of all time, okay? In this context, it was more of a negative thing. See, what happened was that the teacher made Neville go up in front of about 40 students and was like, now listen to him speak. He will never earn a living using his voice. What a whack teacher, dude. Shoot, that was messed up. Anyway, Neville's response was like, she shouldn't have done that. She didn't know the kind of person she was talking about. In other words, she messed with the wrong guy, straight up. So instead of burying his head in shame, Neville wanted to prove her wrong because it did something to him when the teacher said that to the class and used them as a guinea pig to show them what not to do, saying that he spoke with a guttural voice, which is like a rough, raspy voice, and had this very heavy accent and would never use his voice to earn a living. And so Neville was annoyed. Those were his words. In fact, he was so annoyed that he actually lost the $500 his dad gave him for the 6-month course. But here's what Neville did. He wasn't going out like that. He ain't no pushover. Here's what he did. Ready? Neville went to the end. What does that mean? He went to the end in his imagination where he actually felt that he was facing an audience, unembarrassed, and talking for a long time without using any notes. The class came to an end and he left. She was convinced and maybe they were convinced too. But as Neville points out, it doesn't really matter what they do, for real. What matters, listen, is what he does. What matters is what he does, what he feels. Why? You gotta get this, folks. It's because the whole vast world, he says, is yourself pushed out. Let me say that again. The whole vast world is yourself pushed out. Let that sink in. And that's why Neville says that maybe he needed that jolt at that moment in time because it led him to be the person he ended up being, right? Then Neville went through what he calls the different tribulations, and he finally found himself doing what he always wanted to do, which was to tell the story as it happened to him in vision. Here's how things played out. The first night he started, he paid $3 for a hall, and around 6 people came. He wore tux for the occasion, looking all sharp, and sat down, and he spoke for 10 minutes. And then, in his words, he dried up. But thankfully, the people were cool about it. He said they were all very gracious friends, and out of sympathy, each of them gave $1. So at least he made $3. That was his beginning. But then over time, it grew from 3 to 10 to 20. And one night when he had about 50, there was this guy in the building who saw Neville's audience growing and thought he'd put a stop to it. And he was going to one of those New Thought conventions in Washington, D.C., and he asked Neville to take his platform. This guy had a huge audience of about 500, and he thought that that would screw up Neville. Because Neville found out afterwards that the guy's agenda was to get him out of that place, thinking Neville would make a fool out of himself in front of a big crowd who were trained differently. You know what? Neville took the offer. And unfortunately for the guy, but fortunately for Neville, the next time Neville spoke, so many people showed up that his room couldn't even fit everyone. It was that packed. And he had to move several times in 6 months, and then to an old church, which sat 1,100 people. Boom. You see, the guy thought that he was going to hurt Neville, but instead, Neville got his audience. And it's like how that one verse goes, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. All right, real talk. That's a thing about life, you guys, right? Stuff happens. Things you don't like certain setbacks and heartbreaks and delays. And you wonder, why the heck is this happening to me? And it's okay to question. But look, here's a lesson of the story. Remain faithful to the end. Remain faithful to the end. What was meant for evil, and you remain faithful to your vision, will somehow work for the good. It'll somehow work for the good. So let me ask you, despite all the crap that's happened in your life, all the trials, what do you want? What's your desire? It's as simple as that. Do you want to be happily married? Do you want to be financially successful? Do you want to be healthy and strong? Whatever your desire is, here's how to be those things. Don't just think of it, okay? Don't just think about it. Nah, dude, do what Neville did. Think from it. Go to the end. Ask yourself, what would it be like if it were true that I'm now the person I want to be? What would it be like? And then catch the mood. Drench yourself, he says, with that feeling of the wish fulfilled. Feel its reality here and now. Make it about you and how you feel, right? It's not about other people. Remember, the world is yourself pushed out. Don't ever forget that. And then here's what's going to happen. Neville says that if you remain faithful to the end, then no matter what happens, you guys, no matter what setbacks or trials come your way, guess what? Everything will add up to your end. The whole thing will be fulfilled where you'll finally see that it was all in order for your greater good because you get what you believe. Yeah. Alrighty guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and the bell right next to it to be notified of my next video. I pump these out every single week so you don't want to miss them. If you're listening via podcast, I'd really appreciate a review. It gets more people to discover my work and of course helps spread this message. And yo, don't forget to register for my free online training that'll seriously help you to start manifesting the life you really want right now. So check it out. The link's in the description. Like I always say, more's coming. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.